Episode 117 of 5 Drinks Through Midnight. And on the show, we bring the questions, guests bring the drinks, we try to wrap up before midnight. Today, we are talking to Dr. Juliet Schmalz, co-founder and CEO of Fortune's Fool, and she's prescribing rye and cocktails. But before we get started, like, subscribe, hit the bells, leave a comment. Really help us push this in the algorithm. Let's get started. Juliet, thank you so much for joining us. 5 drinks or midnight, 5 drinks, 5 questions, midnight, whatever comes first. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm so excited. So, again, I found you guys because I got sent a PR package and I was like, what is this? I had no idea what this was. And then, so then I went to the site and I was like, oh, I have to talk to you. I have to know, like, this is a good story. This is what our show is about. So like, I guess, question, what are we drinking first?
Well, we only have one product right now because we're a brand new company. So we are Fortune's Fool, and our first release is the Prelude Rye. So this is what we're drinking.
Oh.
It is aged 32 months in the world's finest bourbon barrels. It's a 10-barrel blend. Barrel strength at 109.6 proof. The mash bill I chose on this is 62% rye, 30% corn, 8% malted barley. I like it because I wanted a blend where rye lovers would enjoy the rye, but also non-rye lovers could enjoy it. It's got enough corn in there to add some sweetness, but not to be offensive to rye lovers.
Yeah, right. No, and it's gorgeous. It is, like, it's on the nose and, like, it just... Oh.
Our blender is Ebony Major, and she hit it out of the ballpark, I think, with this.
Yep. No, this is... this is just, it's glorious. It is absolutely amazing. Ebony did the show as well. So, like, that was the, yeah. So, well, cheers.
Cheers. I already took a little sneak sip.
Nothing wrong with that. It's just, yeah, it's so good. It's spicy. It's just, it's got a good tingle to it. It is really, really good. And you guys, too, just released, you were on sale via your shop, right? So, like, you guys just started selling via the website.
Yes. So for 2 months, we've been available in Indiana only. And then just maybe yesterday, we went live where you can click through, and it's a Shopify ability to purchase in 33 states plus Washington, D.C. That just went live yesterday.
Nice. All right. So question 1, I classify myself as a doctor, but you're actually a real doctor. So how does one go from being a doctor to getting into the whiskey business?
Well, being a doctor could drive you to drinking. No, that's not it at all, really. I've just really enjoyed, I think I was more interested in wine starting out as a young adult drinker, and found it very interesting, that art and science combination. And then when I was introduced to whiskey pretty early on, and just started getting into it and realizing that too was an art and science kind of combination. And so I just got more and more interested in, especially as whiskey, bourbon especially, has gotten really popular over the last 15, 20 years, whatever that time frame has been. I've gotten more interested in it and wanted to learn more about it anyway. In the meantime, just disenchanted with medicine, where medicine's going, wanted to do something different, felt like I had something else in me to give or do or be And so about 5 years ago, I started taking some classes at a place called Moonshine University in Louisville. Our proximity to Kentucky, I mean, I'm 90 minutes from Louisville, Kentucky, and that's just obviously a great resource for anything in the whiskey world.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
And I just took like every class, almost every class that they had. It's all about the industry, how to start a business. It's not just how to produce, it's a lot of other things. Plus, you get introductions to people that you just never thought you would have access to. I interviewed a lot of people, asked about, you know, asked for help with figuring out my mash bill and which yeast strain I should be using, and took classes where I could like try a bunch of different products with different yeast strains, and just helped open the world of whiskey to me and to learn more about that and figure out what I actually want to produce. And then, of course, the obsession just continued. The more I learned, the more I wanted to learn. And the more I thought, well, I can do this and we can bring a premium whiskey product to Central Indiana. And then my husband, luckily, is a business guy. So he was like, I get to go do the fun things. Like figure out the mash bills, go on reconnaissance missions where, I get to do tours and tastings, and he crunches numbers for me and figures out what we can and can't do. And it's been a great combination. I think we're a great team with different skills. And so that's where my journey began. It was, wanted to get out of medicine and do something different, something a little more creative, perhaps. And that's where I landed. Something I can be passionate about.
Nice. And then too, you said that you started out in wine. So is that where, like, partnering with that your barrel company, like, is that where that came from, or was that just, because I know on the site it says people said you had to go work with them. Is that? But again, they're a Napa Valley barrel company. So is that where that kind of partnership started, or was that just
not really
by chance? Okay.
Not really. Like, I've spent a fair amount of time in Sonoma and Napa counties just for fun, going to adult Disneyland kind of places like that, just like Kentucky is. But the association with Sogan Moreau came with all those different people I had access to in Kentucky that were already producing whiskey. We would ask every single one of them, if you could put your whiskey in any barrel, what company would you go with? How air dried should the staves be? We realized this was an area of where we could stand out in quality because of I think a lot of people don't understand how important the barrel is. Obviously, producers do, but if you're producing thousands of barrels a day, you're not going to buy the premium barrel. You can afford to put that barrel away and let it do its magic over a longer period of time. We're small, so we're able to do the investment into the best barrels we could possibly find. And so that's how we found them, just interviewing people. And then we always follow any lead and try to take meetings with people. And we can't remember if we went out there before we agreed to work with them or not, but we've been out there a couple times. And
okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Again, your little explanation video on the site is gorgeously shot, and talking about going back into doing, things traditionally. I love that, where you're like, we're not using gas. Everything is fire. The char is like that way. Is that something that, like, going through, like, is that kind of the old school flavor profile that you really wanted to hit, or that you enjoy?
Definitely. I do think it does contribute to a better flavor, more oak flavor in the product. I also just like the idea that they're doing it the way it kind of should be done, I guess.
Gotcha.
Not cutting any corners or speeding up the process with different, with steam or gas or whatever. So it was more about just the traditional process, and there's so much that goes into how they choose which tree to cut down. So the differentiation begins at the tree, between a Segwin Monroe barrel and a cooperage that's cutting down barrels for bourbon, just standard bourbon. Segwin Monroe has, because they started in cognac and wine or doing cognac and wine, they have a different quality that they're starting. That's their baseline, is a different quality of wood. I'm getting ready to go to Arkansas on Monday to tour the mill with the general manager of Segwin Moreau, and just because I want to learn as much as I possibly can about wood
Oh,
and
awesome.
what I can learn in that whole process.
That's awesome. But again, you said you were from India, and again, there's nothing wrong with this question. Like, I don't mean this in a negative in any way. But you said that you guys are from Indiana, but you're sourced, but you're not sourced from MGP, correct?
We're not sourced. We're
Yeah.
contract distilling. So,
Okay, awesome.
yeah, didn't want to do MGP. Didn't want to source from anyone.
Okay,
Wanted to. Some of this need to produce whiskey comes from when I cook or bake for someone and I hand it to them and they taste it and they enjoy it. So if I'm sourcing something, it doesn't feel like it's mine or coming from me. And a lot of people know that that's standard in the industry when you start out, because it is an aged product, and most people can't sit and wait to start paying their bills
yeah,
3 years later when they put out their first product. Again, the way we structured our company and not putting up a distillery immediately allowed us to have the ability to contract distill, use the mash bills I came up with, the yeast I came up with, pay someone that owns the equipment to make my product, and then we did the waiting game.
look what we got. So this is
Yeah,
freaking glorious.
Yes, I've had a lot of people talk about, around here, MGP is king, MGP is great. But some people are like, I like that this is not an MGP rye. It's nice
Yes.
to see a different mash bill out there and a different flavor profile.
Agreed. You can tell that it's not MGP, like right off the bat. Like it's just, and for the folks at home, when you just said, you were from Indiana, people automatically just go that route. And I didn't want people to start to think that this is something brand new to the market. So this is really nice.
Yes, I've had a lot of people ask me questions. They kind of make the assumption, oh, so it's MGP. Like, no, it's not, which makes it unique.
Very nice. Well, that's question one. Super easy. See, Band-Aids ripped off, train's leaving the station, we're ready to go. So, question two, drink two. What are we drinking next?
This is Love's Light. This was created for us by Alyssa Atwell. She is a bartender mixologist at the Bemberg here in Indianapolis. It's where we had our release party when we released our product 2 months ago. She created two of these products. These cocktails are hers with our product as part of a project that we're doing with bartenders all over town. We're asking them to make good cool cocktails with our product. We're putting it on our website. I think we have like 7 or 8 of them up right now. We've got a few more in the works. These were the first 2 probably, and we had them at our release party. They were people loved them. People couldn't stop talking about how great both of these cocktails are.
Cheers.
With lemon.
With a lemon. Cheers. The rye really comes out. That's so damn nice. That is really good. Huh. Yeah. All right. I'm digging that. All right. So question 2, the name. Again, we talked a little bit when I asked you what you'd like to be called, and you said that, it refers to the actual brand. And again, we all know the scene where Romeo says, I am again, love the play on that, but Shakespeare doesn't mean like what we would normally say is that it's destiny or like we would say foolish or an idiot, but he always used it as it's a destiny. Where did the name come from? Why did the name come from? Like what's the meaning behind all the name?
Well, when we were brainstorming with our marketers about where we wanted the name to go, some people had wanted Juliet to be the name of it, but you can't trademark that.
Gotcha.
I didn't want it to be my first name, honestly. And so we just played around with, because Juliet is not the most common name, And obviously, most people go immediately from Juliet to Romeo and Juliet. Then we started playing around with that theme with Shakespeare, and there seems to be a lot there that we can use for branding, for example, and it just really worked. Fortune Spool, we had several different things from Romeo and Juliet that we were playing around with as well, and I think Fortune Spool it just sounds, even if you don't think about what it means.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cool name. We also say we think it sounds like a great racehorse name.
Yep.
That would be awesome as well. And then we just went with that theme for a large part of our branding. I think, for example, so like we're calling this the Prelude because it's in not our custom bottle. Our custom bottle wasn't ready yet. There's been glass shortages and things like that with COVID that's kind of put our timeline a little behind. We didn't want to wait so long for our product to be released because that wouldn't be till this fall. So with our marketers, we worked on using a different bottle, but kind of keeping the same, like the label and everything. It will kind of flow, so you'll know it's coming from the same company. And then we're calling this the Prelude, just because we can work in some theater.
Yep.
Just saying this is our introduction. It says an opening act from Fortune Spool, so that obviously is, playing into the theater theme. Our next release in February, March will be called the Overture. So again, we're crawling towards our custom bottle, which comes out next January. So we're just out from our custom bottle, which is full of symbology that is, goes to theater and Shakespeare. It's got curtains. It's got a lot of words. It's 7-sided, so it's kind of a luck related.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's 7 words that all start with the letter F. My favorite one was not on there, but a lot of good F words in there. Fortune, folly, farce. There's 7 of them. I always lose track, but lots of symbols and things that are alluding to Romeo and Juliet or theater in general.
Nice. And will the Prelude then end up in that bottle, or is this bottle just a one and done situation?
The Prelude is a one and done situation. The bottle, if we do any other releases that are under 4 years, we'll probably stick to this bottle.
Okay.
And there's a good chance, I'm not sure because it's many years down the road, but when we emptied the 10 barrels we used for this blend, we put a weeded mash bill in there so as to not stop using the barrel. We're going to use it again. Great barrel. So obviously we'll get a whiskey out of that and not a bourbon, but that might go in this bottle. It might go in the custom bottle. That's at least 8 years down the road. Will
then future releases all be like part of that story, or like a different kind of tragedy or comedy, if you will? Like, is that kind of the theme that you're going to be sticking with?
We'll stick to Romeo and Juliet. So all the I can grab my custom bottle. It's 10 feet away.
Sure. I would love to see it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
First rendition of it. It's going to be a little different than this, but actually is improved. It's actually better looking than this one. So it's 7-sided.
Cool.
And it's got little textured, it could be daggers or curtains.
All right.
Birds are on each of the 7 sides around the bottom here. And there's going to be a pretty good size medallion with our FF logo on it. So it's going to look really nice on a
That's awesome. Gorgeous bottle.
Thanks. These releases are we have a rye, we have a bourbon, and we have a weeded bourbon mash bill. Those will be released as acts and scenes.
Okay.
So you'll know which one you were getting.
That's awesome. Because I even love that like your process is built into chapters, and like it's just I love the detail, like the detail going into, excuse me, but like seeing the detail on the site that you guys had put in, and then getting into tasting it, and you find that detail in the rye. It's like it's just it's really well done, and it's like I make this joke to a lot of people that when I interview them, I'm like, I can lie to you, but this can't. Like, you'll see if I don't like it, and I really like it. So like, it's like this gets very expressive if I don't like something. So like, this is just, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, super excited. I can't wait to try more from what you guys are going to be doing. Question 3, drink 3. What are we drinking?
This drink is the Happy Dagger. It was created by Chelsea Schwartz at Bluebeard, which is a bar and restaurant here in Indianapolis.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. That's some good stuff right there. That is.
I like bitter and I like orange. So that one really hits it for me.
And just again, it's just 2 drops of saline, but like I love something with just a little salt in it, so it's just damn. This is
for
good.
me, not being a bartender, I was like 2 drops saline. Like I didn't know that was a thing, and but it's fascinating, like the chemistry behind what 2 drops of saline can do to a cocktail. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love just a little bit of salt. All right, so question 3. We usually call this the talking shit segment because we have had 3 drinks, but this one we're not. We're gonna kind of move this one around just a little bit. And this being your first year in the market, what is one of the most unexpected and expected things that has happened to you so far in the industry?
I think one of the biggest difficulties for me, and it's getting a little easier, but especially at the beginning, the fact that we created this business plan. And for me, I just thought, well, we just do the business plan. But then there's all these roadblocks that come up. You realize you can't do it. Maybe the laws have changed or are going to change, or it's just not feasible, or the timing's wrong. And so many ups and downs and roller coasters, and you have to kind of mold yourself to change, to go with the flow and change with what you can do. And so that was very difficult to me, because it's like, if I want to do it, I just want to do it the way I want to do it. The thing that helps the most to get through that is that our end all be all, our North Star, is quality. So if the decision comes down to low quality or lower quality, the answer is neither. So it helps guide you in your decision makings, because there can be millions of decisions to make, it seems like, on a daily basis at times. And just knowing that when you have quality partners, because you've chosen, because quality is your bottom line, and every decision you make, quality is the answer, that makes it a lot easier. But it for me, it's hard, where some of it's control. I just like to control the situation, and there's so many parts of this that I can't control, especially when I'm not even physically producing, so we're partnering with people that are and paying them to do their expertise, but I have to let them, do those things too.
I guess the big question is, and again, I worded it really poorly, but are things going as you expected? Like, I guess that's that's the better question. So
yes, I would say yes. When the Prelude hit the market, you can have doubts, because you're like, it's unknown, right? How it's going to be received, what's going to happen. But we also knew that we loved our product. We love the final result of the blend. We love the standards that we have. We had, initial people tasting it, whether it's bartenders or salespeople, and getting great feedback. But you still don't know, right? You're not sure, like, what if it doesn't sell? So I would say the thing that's going the way that you expected, even though there's that little voice in your head that's saying maybe not, is that it's selling very well, and it's very popular, and we have fans, and people are selling out of it, and people are trying to find it, and I think people are going to look forward to the next product, and that's as planned and as expected based on what our product is. But it's one of those things that you kind of need to see it to believe it too.
No, I get, and again, congratulations, because again, it is absolutely like it is really good rye, like it is really really good. I really enjoy it. I also love, like you mentioned, I love that you guys have gone like the bartender route as almost as like your ambassadors, because again, I'm a firm believer that if a bartender makes a good drink and you're going to be like, hey, what's in that, and then they're going to go buy it. So if a bartender stands behind it, and especially if they're making drinks for you, I think that is absolutely amazing. What made you guys want to work with bartenders? Or, I mean,
we do believe in that ethos. We also, some of our marketers are kind of into cocktails, and so we've spent a lot of time talking about cocktails. We've talked to a lot from the beginning. We talked to bartenders. We pulled them on names. We pulled them on the custom bottle. Like, is the neck long enough? What do you hate the most about certain bottles? Did they stick to the counter? You can't grab them to pour them. So we were taking their advice from the very beginning on stuff, things as seemingly mundane as that, to, you know, what do you want? What kind of cocktail, what kind of rye do you like to, you know, mix in cocktails? You know, I tend to like barrel strength because I think you can do more with it. Like, you can put it in a cocktail and it stands up. And so it wasn't just for me, it was also for bartenders saying, well, you know, if you keep the proof a little higher, it stands up well in cocktails, and then there's just more diversity to be able to utilize this product instead of proofing it down to something kind of boring. So yeah, they can be ambassadors. They're kind of, you know, satellite people pushing your product for you. If you have a great product and you can have great cocktails made with your product and you involve them in the process, a lot of bartenders really love to create cocktails. And when you ask them, hey, I like what you do, would you be willing to do something with our product? They're usually all about it. So that's why I want to give them all credit for the work they've done with us.
Question 4, drink 4. What are we drinking?
Okay, this is Sweet Sorrow. This cocktail was created also by Alyssa Atwell at the Bemberg in Indianapolis, and this was featured at our release party. This might actually be my favorite. I think I said that 3 times now.
But yeah, no, I think I'm right there with you. I think this might be my favorite so far. This one is it is damn good.
There's this like smokiness to it.
Yep. That is really nice. I think it's that rhubarb. Like that is so nice.
So nice. So I can have it at home now, and I can go to the Bemberg and get it whenever I want.
There you go.
Fantastic. Great job, Alyssa.
Very nice. That is damn good.
It's fantastic.
All right. So question 4, it's what's next, but to use your term, what story are you going to tell next? So,
well, what's next is we have some more rye coming out. February, March, we'll do another blend. This was a 10-barrel blend. We'll probably up it a little bit because we're starting to, we just yesterday started to, you can individually purchase in 33 states and Washington, D.C., but also we'll be distributing, I believe, in Missouri in February, March as well, and maybe also Kentucky. And we'll probably do 2 rye releases next year in like the smaller one and done kind of batch formation. I think, everything we're doing is one and done batch formation. And then the biggest thing down the pike, I would say our next like Sentinel event is January of 2025. So just 12 months from now, we'll be releasing our first bourbon mash bill. And it will be in the custom bottle. And we'll probably do some events around that as well, just to hype it up. I'm very excited about our bourbon. We also have a wheated bourbon mash bill. I'm excited about our bourbons because the fantastic barrels that we used for the rye, we used even a little step up from there for all of our bourbon products. they have at Sogamoro, they have a bourbon barrel called the Icon. And the Icon barrel, again, it's traditionally created, and all of their choosiness about the wood goes into it. But then they take it a step further, put a little technology to work, and for any of the wood to become an Icon barrel, they test it for ability to produce vanillin and some other substances that you want to have produced in a bourbon that gives you those sweet bourbony profiles that everyone likes.
Yeah.
So all of our bourbon products are in the Icon barrel. We accidentally sampled our bourbon at 2 years. We thought we were getting a rye, and my husband ordered the wrong lot. So
Oh, all right.
we're like, this is really good, but this rye tastes a lot like bourbon. And we found out it was bourbon, but it was also really good at 2 years. And so now it's been a year since then. I keep threatening to order some samples so I can, because I'm just dying to know what it's going to taste like. It's going to be fantastic.
Very nice. Can't wait for that. So again, you talked about, how your profile is more of a bitter kind of situation. We talked a little bit about how you like a Negroni. Is there ever a chance that maybe you will do like a new book? Because again, Shakespeare uses, Fortune's Fool through a lot of his plays. Would there be another book with maybe a gin or something else along the lines?
Well, originally, especially when we were talking about building a distillery up front, we thought, well, we have to do unaged, and I felt like we were losing our focus. So our focus right now is whiskey, but our focus also is barrels and barrel education. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about wood and barrels and why it matters in all the minutia details. So we think to progress and to grow the company from, if we leave whiskey, what we will do is something else that's aged in barrels. And what we're leaning towards is tequila.
Okay.
So there's going to be some education on my part on learning about a little bit more about that. And, and maybe sipping rum, something aged.
Gotcha.
And because again, it would be all about the quality of the barrel and its contribution to the quality of the product. And so that we decided that that's our through line. Like if we do cross spirits, our through line will be the best barrels we can find.
All right.
Okay.
So, question 5, drink 5, our last and final drink of the night. Our last question. What are we drinking?
This is the Garda Sour. This was created by Zoe Hayes at Nowhere Special in Boca here in Indianapolis. Nowhere Special is a bar. Boca is a bar and restaurant. She impresses me. I just like to watch her wheels turn, like when she's thinking about a cocktail. We introduced all of these bartenders, we introduced just single barrel samples because we didn't have our blend yet when we first started talking to them about making a cocktail. And she was kind of thinking out loud how she wanted to create this. And she was thinking of Amaros from the Verona area of Italy because it's, fits in with. And I was not just that, but just watching her wheels turn is fascinating. So I had to pick one that she put on our website for us because I just admire the hell out of her.
Cheers.
Cheers. I would never order this off of a cocktail menu because I see simple syrup and I don't order it. But she made this for us when we were brainstorming. I think it's delicious. I like how she thinks. I like how she works. And I definitely wanted to, pick one of her products for this show. So, and plus I wanted to play with egg whites. I've never done this myself. So
nice.
It was a learning experience for me. I learned something. I have a great cocktail. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's so good. I don't think I shook mine hard enough, so I think that's why we got the flip. But it is really good. Like that is.
It's definitely not as rye forward as the other products. And if you told me the ingredients, I'd be like, I don't think so. But I like it. I like it. It's different. I need to branch out a little more. And this is definitely a branch out for me, which is why I picked this one.
This is really nice because it's a very, like, it's almost like a variation of a New York sour, because again, that has like that red wine photo on the top, which is just really nice. But I will tell you, the Fortune's Fool just sings through that. That just is really nice with the creaminess of the egg white, and just bringing in just a little bit more of that sweetness just makes that little zesty of the Fortune's Fool. It's so damn good. And then the Lambrusco is just, it's really fucking nice. Like, it is just really, really nice. So, again, talking about F words.
That's my favorite one.
There we go. Mine too. All right. Well, question 5. Our last drink of the, we're finishing our last drink of the night, so let's get on to our last question. So question 5 comes down the flip of the Whiskey Wednesday coin. You can flip it, you can spin it, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to answer. The coin will give us the answer, but please feel free to answer if you so feel inclined. So, you have your coin with you? Excellent. So, and again, this is just a silly way to end the night. No big deal, no pressure. But growing up, from hot toddies to cure the common cold to, babies teething, the whiskey was always the magical substance. So, as a true doctor in the field, does whiskey have magical healing capabilities?
I would say yes, but it's probably not physical. It's more emotional.
Perfect. What does the coin say? No, so I think that's why.
It says fuck no.
Fuck no. I'm still going to believe that whiskey will cure your common cold. So as long as it's all in here, you're good to go.
It's probably a placebo effect, which is real. And yes, it may not help you physically, technically, but I do think, especially the prelude, to me, it's just like, it's the flavors and the warmth, and I picture you drinking it with friends and family, and if that doesn't heal you, I don't know what does.
Exactly. The spice, like this, a hot toddy. Now we like a Manhattan. Like, we got so many more drinks to go make with this.
Okay, cool.
Juliet, that's 5 drinks down, 5 questions answered. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a true pleasure. If you are ever in New York, please look me up. I would love to share more drinks with you in person.
Absolutely.
And again, until we can drink together in person, cheers to you. And I hope we can meet together soon. So there we go. Double fisted. Excellent.
Cheers.